there, it's Dawn here today, and today I would like to talk about how I use my Paddywaxx Super Sticky on my Multiplacer with my Multiplacer without any issues. There's a lot of people out there, including Robin with a Y, who makes the Paddywaxx. They all say do not use the Paddywaxx Super Sticky with a Multiplacer. And here is me doing exactly that right now. So I will go more into details about this throughout this video. I just wanted to go ahead and get this part where I'm showing you how I'm doing it done real quick first, because this was very interesting trying to get my camera set up. So with the Multiplacer, I have the two. Right now I have two. I use a 3-placer because I like being able to work between 2s, 3s, and 1s. Here's another 2 being placed. Now I'm switching over. I'm going to do a 1 over here. Oops, messed that one up a little bit. There. And I got another 2 coming up. So there's a 2 right over here. All right, now I get these blocks. All right, so that is how I'm doing it with a Multiplacer. Let me go ahead and get set up, and then we'll talk about this. All right, so what I got here is Paddywaxx, Etsy seller Paddywaxx from Robin and Ben. Let's see, made in Ohio. And the description here, let's see, Robin from Distracted by Diamonds. So this is the item description of this brick that I got. And it's a little bit difficult to even get her products because it sold out within minutes of her listing them. It is very, very popular, and I was very curious as to what all the hype was about. So I wanted to try and get one, and I was very surprised that I was actually able to get this. But the scent here, the scent was not what I thought it would be, because at the very bottom, it says that you get a large brick. It's approximately 0.65 ounces. And the scent description, as per the manufacturer, this fragrance combines aquatic top notes with Italian bergamot, rare camellias, and lime, followed by middle notes of lily, jasmine, and rose, finished with notes of exotic sandalwood and vetiver. Created for chic, confident women who like to live a little. So just from that description, I was very excited as to what the scent was going to be. I was disappointed when I got it, because when I got it, it just smells like coconut. And it even shows a coconut over here, but nowhere in the original listing did it show coconut. And whereas this picture of it, I think more accurately describes the scent. So that was my first disappointment. My second disappointment was that it does leave a lot of residue. Now I know that residue is something that will be left by just about everything that you use, okay? Any of the ones that you use will leave residue. But my favorite is actually the one from Diamond Art Club, which is a dark pink wax in the heart shape. That one leaves the least amount of residue. But my problem with those and other ones, other waxes that I've tried, including the blue tack, is that in a Multiplacer, what will happen is that it's too soft. The wax is too soft. So basically, when you keep using the Multiplacer time and time again, then it will create little craters. Now I have Paddywaxx Super Sticky in here. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it. But you press, and then it's going to leave these little craters, because originally how you want it is you want this to be a smooth runway, as smooth as you can, smooth and flat, perfectly flat and smooth. So I always fix it like this, make it all nice and flat. I can feel that it's flat. If I want to, I can do it on my card, make it all nice and flat. Make sure that, you know, just flat. No craters, right? But with all the other waxes, very quickly it would make craters and it would cause problems. I wouldn't be able to accurately place all three at once. Sometimes usually the center one is going to sink all the way in and then it's missed. It doesn't stick and then I got to go in and dig it out. Now, a little bit of that does happen with the Super Sticky. This is her Super Sticky one, but not as bad, and it's more resistant to that than any other wax that I've tried. So I'm very happy with that. But the amount of residue that this one left, this is her her main formula, I would say. She has a main formula and then she has a Super Sticky formula. So the main formula, I just couldn't get over how much residue it was leaving. It was leaving the most amount of residue on my drills than any other product. So this one I haven't played with a lot, and I might try it again later on, but I don't know. Now, why would reviews or testimonials vary so much on her product? I think is of all the products out there, I suspect that hers is the most dependent on the temperature that you live in or your house or whatever, because I know a lot of people were saying that it's too hard, it's too difficult to work with or whatever, and then the recommendation for that is, well, heat it up, hold it in your hand, put it in your bra, use a blow dryer, use a heat gun, or all this stuff, and that all seems like a lot of work. Other than, well, stuffing. Well, it is more work than other waxes, your traditional pink wax or your blue tack. You don't have to do stuff like that with that. But, they have all of those suggestions for this one. So it's very interesting. And I'm in Southern California, so I might be a little bit too warm. And maybe that's why this is soft and I don't have any issues with the hardness, because this is warm, so it's going to be softer for me, but it's a little bit too gooey for me, maybe a little bit too soft for me. So maybe that's why this is not working so well for me here. But when she sent me, I only ordered this brick, but she sent cute little stickers, she sent a candy, and then she sent the samples. This jar is mine. It's not part of it. This little bit over here, oh, I'm trying to get it out, but I can't get it out anymore. This little thing over here was I got 3 of these. This one is some kind of, what does it say? Chocolate cream cheese cupcake. Very cute. Cute little shape. I guess these are little samples. This one, I have no idea what scent this is, but whatever scent this is, I love it. It's very light, tropical, I love this scent. So whatever this is, I love, but this is the original formula, so I haven't played around with that yet. And this one is her, well, it said PWSS on the little baggie, so I'm assuming this is the Super Sticky. So the Super Sticky, I went ahead and tried it, and then I saw everybody saying, do not use it in your Multiplacer, but I did, and it's working great for me, and it might be because, one, the temperature changed. So this one, I don't know, might just work really well for my temperature, and also the other thing is I have a very, very light touch. I don't like to press hard down onto my canvas immediately because I like being able to press down and shift if I need to until it's just good, and then I'll give it a second little press down and release. I'm not in a big rush to really hit them hard onto there, because what if I make a mistake, right? So what I do is I like to just press very lightly onto the drill itself. I just roll on there just to make sure that they're all on there, and they are just sitting with their little tips in there. I'm not trying to make them sink into the wax. I just want the very tippies touching, and then I touch onto the canvas and it works just fine. Now, you may have seen when I was doing this earlier that sometimes when I go to pull this back up, then it lifts the canvas up as well. That is a thing that it does because it's very strong. They kind of have a little battle of who wants to win. But if I do it light enough and I use my cover minders, to stick and hold, you know, near or how, and then I do like this and work near the space where I'm holding. I can hold the canvas down and work with it just fine. But what makes this so great for my Multiplacer is exactly that it is very stiff. It's harder and stiffer than the other waxes and more resistant to having little craters being formed inside the Multiplacer. So what's happening in a Multiplacer is, and they say that this is excellent in the single placer, and which it is. It is excellent in the single placer. But what happens in a single placer is that you have a little bit of wax surrounded by metal. And so that metal is going to be like an exoskeleton. It's going to hold that wax and prevent it from moving anywhere. But in a Multiplacer, the weakest spot is in the middle of the Multiplacer because that is where it can squish forwards or backwards. The top and bottoms are more resistant because they have all of this plastic around, you know, around them, right? So the center one, and that is where I'm having the biggest craters develop. But because it's a stiff, it resists that the most, and that is why I love it. It also, because I'm using a very light hand, it also has a lot less residue than this formula for me. It's leaving a lot less residue, but it does leave more residue than the dark pink wax that I like, the heart-shaped one, okay? So right now, the Paddywaxx Super Sticky formula is my favorite. It is the one that is working the best for me, my style, my temperature. But I am still looking for the perfect formula because if it has all of these features and not leave as much residue, then that to me would be perfect. This one does have a slight scent to it, scent of something generic like vanilla or something. So what I do like about the scents is I'm constantly adjusting on here, and if it doesn't have a scent, that's great. But I'm constantly adjusting on here, so what happens is my fingers will start getting a smell, so it needs to be a pleasant scent. No scent is great. A pleasant scent is very nice. A scent that I love, then I love it even more that it's on my fingers. And I definitely do not want to work with something that has an icky scent to me, and I'm very sensitive to smells. So, all right, so that is it for my whole Paddywaxx review. I want to keep playing with this and see if I can get this to work. Otherwise, it would be such a waste. Oh, I'm going to show you one more tip about the Paddywaxx or any of these waxes that are the harder type waxes. A lot of people, to load up their pens, what they do is just simply dig into it and scrape. Now, I do know that the plastic tips and the metal tips, even the metal brass tips, they can start deforming over time. Just over time of, you know, it does wear on them over time. So I am not comfortable scraping, especially when you need a lot of wax and scraping it with this plastic. I don't like that. I want to work with my fingers more and just try to preserve these tips as much as possible. So for me, I found this tool, and this is a grooming tool that you use for your face. I'm just using this one because this is something that I have on hand. I can also think of another tool used in clay, making little clay figurines that has more of a blade shape to the end. And what I do with this, let's see if I can get my camera to focus. So instead of scraping with my tip, I will scrape with this. And what I like about this is that I can be very exact on how much I want to scrape. And this much wax right here is going to be, perfectly good for a refill. And then once you get a bunch of little shavings out, this is actually now easier to mold. It's easier to work with. If you need to warm it up or whatever, then it's a lot less time to warm it up because it's just little tiny slivers. And then I just press that onto my Multiplacer or my single. Now, it is one extra little step. You don't have to do that, but if you're concerned about it, then just look to see what you have on hand. Something like this. The other end, this end actually works really well as well, because you scrape this and you get a whole collection of the little shavings, and then you can even just dab this straight onto here. And then you can actually dab it straight in and work with that. Now I have way too much wax because I didn't actually need to refill. And then any extras, you just pull it right off. I like to get all the wax off from the outside of the tip and then just pop that right back onto there and save it. So there you go. My little review and tips and tricks for working with the Paddywaxx. I do have others on order, other waxes on order. I'm really curious to test out their formulas because I'm still on my search, and I will post those up when I can. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.